Hi, I'm Diane Devani, broker owner of Pacific Ridge Realty,
And I'm John Cohen, president of Qualified Financial Inc., a local mortgage broker.
and this is the Weekly Five. Thanks for joining us.
How are you, Diane?
I'm doing very well. I love this great spring weather that we're enjoying. How about you?
Spring, but freezing. We have our windows open in the morning or all night, usually with a little the whole house fan, keeping everything cool. So it would get
Yeah.
very hot and woke up this morning and it was my hands that were outside the covers were probably like 45 degrees. I could not
Yeah,
feel them. So just getting up to close a window was a nightmare. It's like,
you're right. It's beautiful out, but it's a little cold. But we can't complain because we live in Southern California. So if we told anybody else in the other parts of the nation that we're cold, they would
they
hit
would
us
laugh.
with a
You're
club.
right. But I've been busy. I've been super busy. It's been an incredible run the beginning of this year. People are coming out of the woodwork. People are selling their homes.
Yeah.
People are buying. There's multiple offers. And more importantly, in the last, say, couple of days, especially the last 24 hours, I don't know if you know that interest rates are tied to the 10-year treasury. And what's gone on is the stock market, as everybody sees, due to the tariff thing that's going on, the stock market is sold off about 10%, massive. We've lost about, I think it was $5.5 trillion in the stock market already, that quick. So what happens when investors, when this starts happening, they try to sell and get out of the market. And what do? They buy bonds.
Bonds.
Interest rates are tied to the treasury bonds, the 10-year treasury. And
Hmm.
so when the bond market rallies, like especially it's done over the last 24 hours, interest rates get a lot better.
Right.
And they're creeping down quick. So if anybody is considering refinancing or considering buying or selling to go buy something else, jump on it. Jump on
Yeah.
it now. There's a little window going on right now where you can get in there, buy a property before the summer rush comes, and then you're overpaying. You're now in a much stronger bidding war or
Absolutely.
and overpaying for the property. So, like I said, anybody out there looking to refinance, take cash out, lower, they've done a purchase in the last 6 to 12 months that wants to lower their rate. This is a good time to look into it. It really
It
is.
sure
But
is.
enough about me, enough about the rates. I know that you wanted to talk about something today, and
Yeah,
go ahead.
speaking of spring, and it's officially spring now, and the summer months coming up. As much as we enjoy the fresh air and opening up the windows to take in all the sunshine and all that great stuff, I think it's good to keep in mind home safety. There have been in some of our cities a rise in burglaries, unfortunately. So this is sort of a little reminder podcast, and some 5 quick tips to keep in mind during this time of year where our windows tend to be open, doors tend to be left open, things are unlocked a little more than usual. So I just thought it might be handy to uh, give out just some reminder tips since we
You
don't
know, it's
have
funny that you mentioned that. I can't tell you
yeah,
how many times I've driven off and left my garage door open and come back hours later, and my wife looks at me like, "What did you do?"
you're lucky to have your stuff still.
And the garage, the door to going into the house is unlocked. And you think, "Oh, I'm in Aliso. It's okay."
Yeah.
It's so far 20 some years, it's been okay, but I've heard of weird things happening. And
Sometimes it's not, yeah. And
yeah,
I think you're tempting fate. It's not good to ever get too comfortable. It's nice to live in a place where we can be comfortable, but it's never good to be
no, we
too
rather be safe.
comfortable.
And yeah,
Because there's people, let's just face it. I mean, there are bad people driving around looking for opportunities to um,
do
take our stuff.
something,
Yeah.
which
In
we did
fact,
a couple months.
I'm gonna give 5 tips, and then I have a bonus one, which is just my personal favorite at the end. So
Okay,
let
go
me
ahead.
jump in. The first one is like you're saying, don't leave windows and doors unattended. So sometimes I think I'm guilty of this. I'm just gonna own it. Sometimes I'll have all my windows open and I go to run a couple of errands, right? All the windows are open. I don't want to have to go through and close all the windows. I'm just going to run to CVS and pick something up and maybe drive through somewhere.
Yeah.
I leave everything open, right? Something we can do about that is to maybe have it cracked open a little bit, not enough for a human to be able to get in, and just buy those window locks that screw into the frame of the window so that we can leave it open, but not the entire window being open.
I
Sort
got
of,
one sitting right here on my downstairs window.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I'm guilty of it. I'll own that.
Yeah.
The second one is um, to reinforce the sliding glass doors and the screens. You know, one of the handiest, because again, it's so easy to leave your sliding glass door open. And maybe it doesn't have to be open all the way, and put in those rods, you know, those dowels that you can buy, and even they'll saw them for you at the perfect length at Home Depot. They can do that for you and just drop that rod in real quick. And you don't have to worry. You can leave the slider open a little bit, but again, not enough for a human to be able to squeeze through.
Yeah.
Those are very, very handy. We keep those in even when the house is, when the slider is shut and locked, we still put that in, just as an extra safety measure, and it costs nothing. Number three is, to keep, this applies more to going on vacation and that sort of thing, but number three is to keep the front of your home, especially, but the back also, looking tidy, looking like there's somebody there. These are old things that we've been told 100 times, but I'm going to tell you 101 times. Don't let newspapers accumulate. Don't let flyers accumulate. One of the things that we often don't do is talk to our neighbors and let them know that we're going to be leaving to go out of town. That's huge. Packages can accumulate, even if you've notified the post office that you're going to be out of town, which is another great tip. You can go online and put in that they hold your mail, but let your neighbors know so that if there's flyers and things accumulating on the doors, they can pick those up. That's a sure sign that
I didn't
somebody,
know that was available at the post office. And my wife, for the last 5 years, and we go away, she's been doing this, and I had no idea she was doing it.
yeah,
They
yeah,
have on hold until the
so
day after
easy.
we get back, and then all the mail shows up. So that's I didn't even know how important that is, but I guess it is.
It
So
is. It's so easy, and it's so
yeah.
effective. And people steal mail too, so you're kind of avoiding both potential problems. Make it look like someone's home, number four. It's so easy to put little timers in. You can do that with electronics player. I like to sometimes have the TV playing or a radio playing, just so there's sound in the house, and you can set those up on timers, and an ounce of prevention, right?
Or you can watch Ferris Bueller, or the what's not Ferris Bueller, but the Home Alone. Find
Oh,
out Macaulay Culkin, find out what he did.
yeah,
Put,
yeah.
put fake people on record players, and they look like they're dancing around the house. So
Yeah,
go that
I
way.
even thought of, I'm not sure if you can do this, but I was wondering how to incorporate Alexa into that. I mean, you could even tell Alexa, tell me a story for an hour every day at 4 p.m. or something. I don't know.
Or if the
Give me,
doorbell rings, if the doorbell rings, say this: "I'm
yeah,
busy.
yeah,
Come back
that's
tomorrow."
funny.
Yeah,
I
who
think that
knows?
is from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some stuff like
When
that. But I
somebody
wonder
rang
if
the
you could do that with
doorbell.
Alexa. Who knows?
That was a great movie. Okay, this is number five. It's my second favorite, other than my bonus tip. Be smart with social media. Be smart
Mhm.
with social media. Don't put your 12-day countdown till we leave for 3 weeks to the Bahamas on your social media, which may be set to public, and everybody can see that you're going to be gone 3 weeks to the Bahamas, and know that your house is going to be
Or
unattended.
reposting that you're in the Bahamas. Look at us
Same
now.
thing.
Yeah.
As much as it's difficult, wait till you get home to post all the photos. That's and again, I think a lot of people that aren't super internet savvy about having your social media locked down may have settings on public, or the friend of a friend may see that you're gone. Leave
Yeah.
all of that secret and private until you get back.
Great
Um,
tips.
yeah.
Definitely.
My favorite bonus tip is, has to do with alarms. And I will say, we do have an alarm system, and I am guilty that sometimes I'm in a rush to get out. I'm only going to be gone for 10 minutes and I don't set the alarm because maybe one window is open, which is really dumb. A window is open. It tells me to set the alarm. I'm just going to be gone for a minute. I'm not going to set the alarm. I don't
Yeah.
want to bypass that station. Always set the alarm, always set the alarm. But my favorite tip is even if you don't have an alarm, go online, get a sign, get a few signs, and put them out on your front lawn and in your backyard and on the side yard that goes into your backyard because nobody knows if you have an alarm or not. If
Nice
there's a
stickers that go on the windows right next to your front
totally,
door.
if there's a bad guy driving down the street trying to pick out a house to break into, he's not going to verify and has no way to know whether you actually have an alarm system or not. And he may say, you know what, I'm not going to pick that one. I'll go to the next house that doesn't have any indication of an alarm. So that's sort of my secret tip is even if you don't have an alarm system, put signs and stickers up that you do.
Well, good. These are all great
Save
points.
you
I
some
think that's
trouble.
all the time we have, but I appreciate you brought up a couple of things that I didn't even think about, but I know that my wife does 100%.
Yeah, that's
He
great.
makes me check the doors 2 or 3 times before we go to bed. Can you make sure the front door? Can you double check the back door?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
already did. Can you do it
Yeah.
again for me? But so these are all great.
Guarantees a way to have an enjoyable summer.
Yep. And I appreciate you. And that's all the time we have until next time. See ya.
Thank you. See you
Bye
soon.
bye. Take care.